Now, in Ephesians 2, verse 13, but now in Christ Jesus is with who was sometimes were far off are made nigh by the blood of Christ. For he is our peace, who hath made both one, and hath broken down the middle wall of partition between us, having abolished in his flesh the enmity, even the law of commandments contained in ordinances, for to make in himself of twain or two one new man, so making peace, and that he might reconcile both unto God in one body by the cross, having slain the enmity thereby. And came and preached peace to you which were afar off, and to them that were nigh. For through him we both have access to one Spirit unto the Father. Now therefore ye are no more strangers and foreigners, but fellow citizens with the saints and of the household of God, and art built upon the foundation of the apostles and prophets, Jesus Christ himself being the chief cornerstone, in whom all the building fitly framed together growth into an holy temple in the Lord, in whom ye also are builded together for an habitation of God through the Spirit. Now, if there's enmity, that means we are enemies before Christ. Now, not only did Satan put a wedge between Adam and Eve, right? He also put a wedge between Jew and Gentile, bond and free, right? Or what we also call slave or free man, right? Even though slavery is abolished in America, it still goes on in other countries, right? And these people who do these things are evil people. They're not of God, right? Yet Christ is also come to make us all one through his body, as Paul said in chapter 2 of Ephesians 14 through 22, right? But if you don't read it with understanding, you're just reading a book. It's no different than a comic book to you, right? You're denying what it's saying. And through his body, both the Jew and Gentile, male and female, right, all are one in Christ Jesus, right? His body, right? Not just the male or the female individually, right? Though he became three other people, or two technically, right? With himself remaining with the other two, right? When he transfigured, that also means transformed, right? He's a transformer. Why do you think they couldn't find him in the crowd when they tried to take him before this, right? Jesus had to kiss him, I guess, to identify him, right? If he was betrayed, right? And only John saw him on the cross, so only John could say he had paps, right? As he did at the beginning of Revelations, right? Chapter 1, verse 13. And Luke also talks about Jesus on the cross telling the women, blessed are the paps that never sucked. They will say that one day, right? He there uses the word mastois, and John uses the word mastois with an os at the end, which only pluralizes the word. When you suckle a child, you only use one breast at a time, idiot, right? You don't use both breasts to suckle a child. Anyone who's seen a nursing mother knows that, right? And Christ is presented as both father and mother, right? Even in the Apocrypha, he's presented as mother and father, right? Son and daughter, right? As one, right? That's why he said not to love mother or father more than me in Matthew, right? If you love them more than him, you're not worthy of him, right? He loves you more than them, right? And David said in Psalms 27, verse 10, though father and mother forsake me, then Yahuwah will take me up, which is the divine name of God in the Hebrew. And men are sealing the name, right? Instead of telling you the name, they're hiding it like they can't figure it out even, right? Well, how do you think I figured it out? The two names Malachi used when he said, thoughts of the law of Moses and Elijah will come to you, right? Well, Jesus said John was Elijah, right? In the same chapter 17, where he transfigured in front of Peter, James, and John, right? But three men lied, not knowing Moses or Elijah, right? John was Elijah, and John was dead by then. He was done beheaded, right? So is Jesus calling up the dead spirit of Elijah and Moses? That's illegal in Judaism, even if he was, right? You can't speak to the dead. But three men appeared to Abraham and Sarah, though it uses Enosh, which means just there are three people there. Now, one of them stood with Abraham, and two of them went to the city of Sodom, where Lot was, right? And Lot met them at the gate, right? And tried to get them into his home to protect them from the men of the city who were trying to rape them, right? Which is the real crime there, right? Not that, again, you also have to forgive sin, right? Through Christ, right? As he did on the cross, right? He said, forgive them, Father, they know not what they do. And they didn't know what they were doing, right? And that's how he survived the cross, too, right? Not by condemning everybody, but forgiving them, right? That's what you won't do, right? You won't forgive your fellow man his trespasses against you, right? You are teaching what Satan taught Adam and Eve, to hate each other and get mad at each other and be enemies of the same household, right? He taught us how to war against your own family, even, right? And we're all doing it, right? And that's the whole problem, right?